Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Derek Austin's Level Up Travel. You know, love to talk about points, miles, rewards, credit cards in general. Love to talk about cash back. Love to talk about the programs like the hotel programs, airline programs, the credit card programs like American Express membership rewards points, like Chase Ultimate Rewards, like Citi Thank You points, and like Capital One miles. And you know, I also love to talk about travel. Oh, of course, US Bank Altitude Reserve points. Love to talk about that too. But today, I want to talk about my best redemption ever. And this comes from my experience traveling around the world. And I'll just get down to it. I got about 15 cents per point out of my Alaska miles. So really cool. At the time, there was these great deals with Marriott, where if you had a certain amount of points, it was a hotels plus flights program that they had, and it's like you got like 100,000 points and like 7 nights in a 25,000 point hotel, but it had to be all in a row, one chunk, right? And so I did that a couple times with Alaska. Also even bought some Alaska miles as I was going along because the value was so high. If I can buy it for like 2 cents a point and get 15 cents per mile, that's a sweet deal, right? So think about that when you do have an opportunity to buy points, because in this situation it would have been really good, especially when they had a 50 to 60% bonus on buying miles. And Alaska miles is probably one of the miles that you could buy and it makes sense. A lot of them, like I know like United and I think American, it just doesn't really ever make sense. It's very rarely, you know. Alaska is one of them that you can buy and it makes sense. So anyway, I'm not sure if those points, the miles that I had from Alaska was from that trade-in with Marriott, where I got 100,000 plus that, or if it's one of the times that I did. I think I only bought it once, Alaska miles, and it was on one of the situations where they had nice bonuses, right? So anyway, 16 cents a mile on with using Alaska miles, and I'm going to tell you what the flight was about. Me and my wife were traveling around the world again, and we were in Cape Town, South Africa, okay? And a place that I really love. I think there's a little political unrest right now. Great place to go. So different. That's one of the cool things about traveling around the world, or just travel in general. You go to places that are so different. It's so cool, right? So anyway, we're in Cape Town, South Africa, and we're trying to figure out ways to get back over to Southeast Asia. And honestly, we're thinking ahead, even get back to the United States and end our trip. And so I knew I had the Alaska miles to do it. And at that time, you had to call up. So kind of figured it out by using British Airlines at the time. And now with Alaska miles, you can book Cathay Pacific on your actual app or their website, but then you had to call up. All right, so I had to call up. So it was Cathay Pacific going from Cape Town, South Africa, direct to Hong Kong, and then I used a layover, and then I set it for about a month afterwards. From going from Hong Kong to JFK, so I used a stopover. So I got 2 flights. 2 very long flights in business class on 1 award ticket. So it's kind of coming off of memory here, but I know exactly how many points it was. It was the entire trip, the 2 legs, and again, I pushed off the second one a month, and I'll get back into that in a second. But so we booked it going from Cape Town, South Africa to Hong Kong, and then a month later going to New York, to Hong Kong to JFK, okay? So we booked that. It was 62,500 miles each for a total of 125,000 because it was 2 tickets, right? The flight to from Cape Town to Hong Kong was surprisingly low, actually, at $4,000, but still above, you know, any budget I would have. To $4,000, that would be $8,000 total for the 2 tickets, you know. So still a really great deal. 12-hour trip, right? So it's really like one of those ones where you definitely would love to have, or kind of almost need to have, a lay flat seat, and that checked that box, right? So here's the thing, we didn't really know when we were going to take that second leg, and I talked to the agent and they said you could switch it as you go. So I think it cost about $100 each or something. Let's just say it's $100 each to book. The 125,000 plus 100 each was $200, right? And I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to that. Now, as we're in Asia, we ended up switching a date. So back then, Alaska Miles, they had a fee if you changed anything on your reward flights, $125 per ticket. So there's another $250 that I had to spend on that. I actually used my, it was either through the Aspire card or the Platinum card. I set it to Alaska Miles, so they covered those change fees, but yeah, it did come out of pocket. So there was another about $250 on that. So it was total, we spent like $450 on it. You'd say, like credit card rewards, but that kind of like is what pays for the Platinum card, right? And the Aspire card. So anyway, you can kind of put that the way any way you want it. So the second leg we eventually did take, and that ticket was about I think it was about $6,500. Let's say $6,000 each, getting to $12,000, and for the two tickets going to JFK, and then you add the whatever happened, and you're getting at $20,000 for both tickets, going from Cape Town to Hong Kong to JFK, and we got to do what we want in Southeast Asia for a little bit, which is really cool. And doing the math, it comes out to $16,000 without the actual money that you put up, but I'll put it down to 15 cents per mile that I got out of this award. Really cool. Well, here's the other thing. It's a 12-hour flight, again, from Cape Town to Hong Kong, and then it's about a 16-hour flight from Hong Kong to New York. Lot of time in a lay flat seat. Cathay Pacific is an amazing airline, great service. If you guys haven't ever taken a business class flight and from a Asian carrier, then yeah, you haven't really seen the best yet. I'd say Asian and Middle Eastern are the best service you're gonna get in like business class and first class seats, especially on those long hauls. Delta and United and American, they just don't stack up. They just don't stack up on the that type of flight. So that was my best redemption ever. Again, using Alaska Miles and traveling on Cathay Pacific, using the stopover, which really helped increase the value of those points for sure, but also getting those business class flights, period. Really hard to get. Again, at the time I had to call up, and that is not necessary anymore. Now you can just book it online. If you are booking online, because I've actually booked online when they had it with Japan Airlines, and I did one with them too, very similar, not quite as high value, but yeah, you could literally say, I'm gonna multi-flight, go from, we did one from Singapore to Japan and then to Korea, like a little small second flight there. It was only 2 hours or something like that. But anyway, it was, we could book it online. So now I'm sure you could book it online. However, a lot of times it doesn't work out, okay? I'm just gonna say you have to kind of finagle with it, just like you would with any award flight. And it could be even more challenging getting the flight that you're going to one location and then getting it to another location. That's 2 award flights in business class. It's hard enough to find one, right? So, I think actually, even though it was a pain in the butt to, pick up the phone and talk to the rep and book it that way, you'd rather do it online because, that's how we are nowadays. We don't rather not talk to people. But anyway, a lot of people won't do that. So you had more availability, I felt. Now with you know, that you can book it online. It's like, I think a lot of the availability has gone away, especially if you're trying to do something like that, where you're trying to get another leg to the flight. So anyway, that was my best redemption ever. It was definitely a good amount of points, but I got a ton of value at it. A little bit of luck, because, you know, it's hard to get, like we said, that type of redemption. And yeah, and a lot of research and figuring out how you're gonna do things. So anyway, that's the video, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification, so every time I do come out with a video like this, you'll be the first to know. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, bye.